Today we're looking at LeetCode question 27, remove element. Given an integer array nums and an integer val, remove all occurrences of val in nums in place. The order of the elements may be changed. Then return the number of elements in nums which are not equal to val. Consider the number of elements in nums which are not equal to val be k. To get accepted, you need to do the following things. Change the array nums such that the first k elements of nums contain the elements which are not equal to val. The remaining elements of nums are not important, as well as the size of nums. Return k. The approach that we're going to be taking today is the two-pointer technique. Here are our 2 pointers, and it'll have a time complexity of O of n and a space complexity of O of 1 constant, and it'll be the optimal approach to this problem. Now let's walk through an example where nums is equal to 3, 2, 2 and 3, and the val that we want to remove is equal to 3. So step 1, we need to initialize a pointer at the 0th position of nums, which will be used to load nums not equal to val. So we'll put that pointer here, pointing at 3. Step 2, loop over each number in the array. We'll use a for loop, and our second pointer will be j, and we'll put that here. We'll apply the following logic to determine whether nums j needs to be loaded into nums I. So if nums j, which is 3, doesn't equal val, which it does, so we skip that. Next we increment j, that's equal to 1, and update the pointer. We check if nums j, which is 2, doesn't equal val, which is 3, which is correct. We then want to load nums j into nums I. So we can see nums j, which is 2, and we then want to replace the 3 where nums I is with the 2. We then increment the I pointer, so we'll move that along 1. And then we want to increment j, updating that to now be 2. So we'll move the pointer. Then we want to check if nums j doesn't equal val. Nums j is 2 and val is 3, so that's now correct. So we then want to load nums j into nums I, so we'll put a 2 in here. And then we want to increment I. So I is now equal to 2. We update the pointer. And then we want to increment j. So j is now going to be set equal to 3. So we'll update the pointer. We want to check if nums j, which is 3, doesn't equal 3. Well, it does, so we'll skip that. And then we'll go back up and we'll increment j again. J is now equal to 4. 4 is equal to nums.length, so we now break out of the loop. And then step 3, we return I. Note that the first ith elements in the nums array have had 3 removed. Then we come over here and we return I. Well, thank you very much for following the video. It's as easy as that. Why not pause the video and try to implement a solution yourself? If not, stay tuned for my solution next. Today we're going to look at problem 27, remove element in JavaScript. So given an array nums and an integer val, remove all occurrences of val in nums in place. The order of elements may be changed, then return the number of elements in nums which are not equal to val. Consider the number of elements in nums which are not equal to val be k. To get accepted, you need to do the following things. Change the array nums such that the first k elements of nums contain the elements which are not equal to val. The remaining elements of nums are not important, as well as the size of nums. Finally, return k. So the approach that we're going to be taking today is the two-pointer technique. And there's a couple of edge cases that I would highlight, which are, or a few scenarios that I can think of. The first one would be we are given an array nums with no values in it. In that scenario, I think you want to return an array of 0. which there might be an example down here perhaps. No, but I believe we would want to return 0. Second edge case would be a scenario where all of the inputs are equal to val. So maybe this would be 2, 2, 2, 2, so on. And then in that scenario, you're going to want to basically return an empty array, or you're going to want to return an empty array. Finally, you've got a scenario like this one where you have got a mixture. So some of the values do equal val, 2 in this scenario, and some of them do not. And then as you can see here, we're just returning these 5 numbers. So let's get straight into it. So we'll let I, which is our first pointer, equal 0, and then we'll declare our second pointer I in this for loop, and we'll set that equal to 0, and then I is less than nums.length I plus plus. Then we want to check if nums I doesn't equal val, because if it doesn't equal val, then we want to set nums I equal to nums I and increment I. So basically what we're doing here is we're saying, okay, we're looping over the entire array nums using I. We're checking if the number that we're currently looking at doesn't equal the value that we want to remove. So if it's not that, then we basically want to load it into nums, so it's an in place, like you're modifying it in place, and then we're just keeping track of where we currently have loaded in I. So when we load an item to I, then we want to increase I, go to the next index, and then finally we want to return I. I in this scenario is basically what k is. It's the number of elements that have been loaded into nums. So we'll run that. See if it runs. It does. Let's see if it passes the test and how it performs. Okay, so beats 30.15% according to this, and 43.33%. This is the optimal solution. It uses O of n time complexity and O of 1 constant memory. If you like the content, please click like. If you want to see more videos like this, please click subscribe. And if there's anything that you think I can improve on, or any videos that you'd like to see in the future, then please leave a comment below and I'll get right back to you. Thank you for watching.